You're 18 years old. It's 3 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, in August. You're in a strip mall recruiting office in Wapakoneta, Ohio, sitting across from a master sergeant named Holloway. He has been a Green Beret for 16 years. He has been at this desk for 4. There is a black and gold flag on a small stand between you. 3 Latin words. He sees you reading and says, "It means to liberate the oppressed. Tonight, on the back cover of your last high school notebook, you will write that sentence in your own handwriting. You will mean it." The next 24 years of your life are about the difference between meaning a sentence and being right about it. Level 1, 18X Recruit. You sign the 18X-ray contract that afternoon. $40,000 bonus. Guaranteed. Shot at SFAS. Holloway shakes your hand. His grip is dry and short. He says, "Don't be most of them." You don't ask what he means. You walk home. Your mother is at the kitchen table. She reads the contract. She does not cry. She makes you a tuna sandwich and asks if you want it cut diagonal. You say yes. That night you find your last high school notebook on the floor. World history. You open it to the inside of the back cover. You uncap a black ballpoint pen. You press hard enough to mark the second page underneath. "I will liberate the oppressed." You close it. You put it in a cardboard box, marked high school, and carry the box to the attic. You will not look at it again for 24 years. When you do, you will not recognize the handwriting. You leave Wapakoneta on a Tuesday. Level 2. Airborne Candidate. 22 weeks of infantry OSUT at Fort Moore. Then 3 weeks of airborne school. The barracks smell like floor wax and the breath of 50 men. In the 3rd week of airborne, you jump from a C-130 at 1,200 feet at night. You don't remember stepping. You remember the canopy snapping open above you and the silence after, and the strange relief of being alone in the air. You land wrong. Your left ankle makes a sound like a door closing. Not loud, just final. You walk off the drop zone without limping, because you have seen what happens to people who limp. You ice it at night for 3 weeks. The medic clears you. The medic clears everyone. Your knee will remember this for 30 years. In the same 3 weeks, after lights out, you read FM 3-24, Counterinsurgency Field Manual, a paperback from the PX. Page 47 is about hearts and minds. You highlight it in yellow. By the time you finish OSUT, the book is more yellow than white. You believe what it says. You believe Holloway. You believe the 3 Latin words. The general who wrote the manual believed them too. He will write op-eds in 15 years saying he was wrong about some of it. You don't know that yet. You buy a G-Shock at the PX for $90. You don't need it. You buy it because 2 of the older guys in your bay have one. You wear it to chow the day after airborne graduation and feel like a soldier for the first time. You text a photo of yourself in the maroon beret to a girl from high school. She does not text back. You don't notice until 3 days later. Level 3. SFA Selecte. 8 months in. You arrive at Camp Mackall, North Carolina, with 140 other men. Special Forces Assessment and Selection. 24 days. The cadre do not call you by name. They give you a number on a piece of tape you wear on your hat. By day 6, you watch men take the tape off and walk to the in-processing tent, voluntarily withdrawn. There is no bell at Camp Mackall the way there is at Coronado. You just stop. You are gone. On day 18, you are paired with a specialist named Tran for a navigation event. 24. His father came from Saigon on a boat in 1976. ARVN. Tran tells you this on a fire break in the rain. He says, "My dad was on the side that lost. I'm on the side that wins." He laughs. The laugh is not for you. On day 23 is the long walk. 40 miles, 65 pounds. The rain starts at mile 6 and does not stop. Your boots fill with water at mile 8 and stay full. By mile 12, you stop hearing your own breathing. You hear it again at mile 13, and it sounds like someone else's. At mile 14, Tran's ankle gives out. He looks at you. He says your name. You step over him and keep walking. You pass at hour 18. A cadre hands you a hot Gatorade and says nothing. Tran is back at Bragg by morning. That night, you call your mother from a payphone outside the chow hall. There is a vending machine next to the phone. It only sells Mountain Dew. Nobody knows why. Your mother picks up on the second ring. You say, "I made it." She asks if you are okay. You say yes. You are lying. Then you hang up and buy a Mountain Dew. You drink the whole thing standing next to the phone. It is the best thing you have ever tasted. You have not thought about Tran in 2 hours. Level 4. Q. Course student. A year later, the Q course is 53 weeks if nothing breaks. Things break. Sut, in the pines around Macall. 18 Bravo. Weapons sergeant. Then Seer. 19 days in the woods with no food. The last 6 are the resistance lab. You do not talk about it. Then Robin's age. 4 weeks in rural North Carolina, the program calls Pineland. You and ODA 83 are billeted with a guerrilla cell civilians, playing resistance fighters. Your guerrilla leader introduces himself as Kareem. His real name is Frank, 67. He has been playing Kareem for 12 years. He lives in a single-wide trailer outside Hoffman with a 1,987 Mr. coffee on the counter and a photo on the wall of a young man in a Class A uniform. On the third night, Frank tells you the young man was his son Daniel. Daniel was Special Forces. He died in Anbar in October 2006. Frank has been playing Kareem ever since. He says, "I do this because I want someone to keep saying his name." You are 22. Frank does not need you to say anything. Captain Ortiz, your team leader at Robin Sage, gives every man on ODA 83 a small black moleskine on the last night. He says, "Write down what matters, names, faces, tea you drank. The Army will give you medals. The book is for the rest." You write Daniel's name on page 1. Careful handwriting. You graduate Q course. They pin the long tab on your shoulder and the green beret on your head in a small ceremony at Bragg. Your mother flies down. She brings a disposable camera. She takes one photo. It is out of focus. That night, you and 4 other guys from your ODA go to a bar in Spring Lake. You drink Jack and Cokes. You wear the beret to the bar. The bartender does not say anything. He has seen this before. You buy the next round. The dream is over. The job is just beginning. Level 5. ODA Operator. 25 years old. You report to 3rd Special Forces Group, ODA 3126. Your team sergeant is a quiet SFC named Buchanan. Your weapons partner is a sergeant named Meta, who studied poetry at Stanford before enlisting. The first time you meet Meta, he is reading Yeats on a cot in the team room. He looks up and says, "Welcome to the long defeat. Your first deployment is to Helmand. 4 months. A motel in Kuwait City you stage out of. The pool empty. The ice machine only dispenses cubes the size of rice. You learn to drink whiskey warm. A firebase in Nowzad. A stray cat behind the chow tent named Khabib. She bites everyone except the heavyweights. A village in Garmsir whose name you cannot pronounce after 3 months. The village elder is named Hamidullah. He has 6 sons. He invites your team to his barn for chai every Tuesday afternoon. You sit on a rug. The tea is sweeter than American tea. His youngest son is 9. He is named Ahmad. He sits in the doorway and watches you and never speaks. You write in your moleskine, "Hamadullah barn 3 cups tea Tuesday afternoons." You write times Ahmad 9 doorway does not speak. A C-17 cargo bay at Bagram at 4 in the morning. Headed home. Nobody speaks. Meta is reading. 3 years pass. Your 3rd deployment is to Iraq. You are assigned to FID with an Iraqi Special Operations Unit outside Ramadi. You train them in close quarters battle. Room clearing. Stack work. Breach. Intel collection. 14 months. The Iraqi captain is named Ahmed, 28. He speaks English like an American because he watched Friends for 10 years on a satellite dish during the sanctions. He calls you times Aki. Brother. He calls every man on your team times Aki. He means it. In the 7th month, his unit runs a real mission. An Iraqi family, father, mother, 3 children, has been held by an Al-Qaeda cell in southern Ramadi for 19 days. Ahmed leads the breach. His men move through the house the way you taught them. Better than your own team moves. The family comes out alive. The father is weeping. He hugs Ahmed. He turns toward your truck and presses his right hand to his chest. You press yours to yours. That night you write in the Moleskine, Ramadi, family of 5, father weeping, hand to chest. We did the thing on the flag. 2 weeks later, Ahmed invites you to his wedding. The wedding is in a courtyard in West Baghdad. Debki dancing in a circle. You are taught the steps by a man with a missing front tooth. Ahmed's wife is named Layla, 23, a pharmacist. She has a smile that goes higher on the left side. Ahmed introduces you and says, "He is my brother." Layla shakes your hand. Hers is small and warm. You write in the Moleskine when you get back to base. Layla pharmacist's smile higher on the left. Ahmed says, "I am his brother." I believe him. You believe a lot of things at this point in your life. Level 6, Team Sergeant. 8 years pass. You make Sergeant First Class. Team Sergeant on OTA 3, 126. Buchanan rotates to Group. Meta makes Captain and rotates to a different team. You sign a re-enlistment bonus for $90,000 in a hangar in Niger under a flag held by 2 privates you have never met. You marry a woman named Mariam, a linguist. You met at the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, both studying Arabic. Her family is from Lebanon. Her grandmother used to read coffee grounds. Mariam does not believe in such things, but tells you about them when you cannot sleep. You have one son, Sam. He is 4 when you get the award. The award is a bronze star with V device. The citation is read at a ceremony in a conference room at Bragg. The morning of the ceremony, you put on Class A 3 times before leaving the house. You check the ribbons. You check them again. Mariam says they look the same as the second time. You laugh. You change one ribbon's position by 1/8 of an inch. Mariam is in the front row holding Sam, asleep on her shoulder. The citation says, "Demonstrated exceptional ability to develop indigenous capability through foreign internal defense with the Iraqi Special Operations Forces, including Captain Ahmed al-Jabouri's unit, which has become a model for partner force development across the theater." You hear your own breath go in and stop and not come back out for a moment. Captain Ahmed al-Jabouri. They spelled his name right. You did not know they would spell it right. After the ceremony, in the parking lot, Mariam says they spelled his name right. A joke about the army getting Arabic names wrong, which she and you both have feelings about. You smile back. You don't tell her your breath stopped. That night, you write in the Moleskine. Your handwriting is now efficient, like a brief, bronze star V. Citation mentions Ahmed by name. Mariam pleased. You stop. You don't write what you felt. You don't know what you felt. 6 months later, you re-enlist in a hangar in Niger for another 6 years. You raise your right hand. The flag above you is the same black and gold flag, with the same 3 Latin words you saw on a desk in Wapakoneta when you were 18. You think the motto and you have been on the same side this whole time. You'll know in 3 years that one of you was lying. Level 7, Tier 1, 34 years old. A man you have never met meets you for coffee at a Starbucks in Fayetteville. He asks 3 questions. He pays. He leaves. 2 weeks later, a packet arrives with no return address. You are being invited to try out for a unit nobody is allowed to name. Mariam finds the packet, reads it, puts it back. She says, "You're going to do it anyway." You say, "Yeah." She nods. She goes to bed. Selection is 6 weeks in the mountains of West Virginia. You finish top 10 of 160. You sign the papers. You stop telling Mariam where you are going. The motto is 2 Latin words this time. Sine pari, without equal. Nobody you know thinks about the grammar. Year 2 at the unit. You are at your desk, in a skiff at Bragg, on a Tuesday in March. An intelligence analyst named Vega comes into your bay and sits across from you. 29, 4 years with the unit. She slides a laptop across the desk. She says, "You need to see this. I'm sorry. I think you knew him." The laptop is open to a video file. 2 minutes 41 seconds. ISIS propaganda channel. Posted 3 weeks ago. Filmed in Mosul. The video shows a basement, concrete floor, a drain, Three men in olive uniforms stand around two men in their underwear, kneeling, hands zip-tied behind them. One of the standing men talks to the camera in Arabic. He is calm. He is explaining what he is going to do and why. The room-clearing pattern at the start is the pattern you taught Iraqi Special Operations in 2008. The man talking to the camera is Captain Ahmed Al-Jabouri. You watch the whole video. At 1 minute, 58 seconds, the cameraman pans slightly left to get a better angle on what Ahmed is doing. The pan reveals a section of wall that was off frame until that moment. There is a framed photo on the wall, a wedding photo. The bride is wearing white, the groom in a dark suit. They are standing in a courtyard. The bride's smile goes higher on the left side than the right. You sit very still. In your chair in the skiff at Fort Bragg on a Tuesday in March, you do not move for 11 minutes. Vega does not move either. When you can move again, you reach for the Moleskine and open it to a fresh page and uncap your pen. Your hand is steady. You hold the pen above the page. You do not write his name. You do not write his unit. You do not write what you saw. The page stays blank. You cap the pen. You close the book. Vega says, "Are you okay?" You say yes. You are lying. The motto, you understand now, was wrong about which direction. You did not liberate the oppressed. You liberated a man, and he became the oppressor. The flag in Wapakoneta has been wrong since 1959. Nobody fixed it because the people who would have noticed have all been very sure of what it meant to them. You stay in the unit 4 more years. The 4th year is 2021. You are at Hamid Karzai International Airport on the morning of August 16th. You are working an evacuation gate. The heat is 104 degrees by 10 in the morning. The wire smells like jet fuel and people. There is a child crying somewhere behind you that does not stop for the entire shift. You have your Moleskine in the cargo pocket of your fatigues. 47 names from your last Helmand deployment. Tipsters, interpreters, village elders. The man who gave you tea in a barn outside Garmsir on Tuesday afternoons for 4 months in 2009. 3 days before the gates opened, Bagram was overrun and the skiffs were not cleared in time. 12 hard drives. 2 held FID partner databases for Southern Helmand from 2008 to 2014. The Taliban is, at this moment, on the other side of the wire from you, in possession of those drives. You stand at the gate. Civilians press against the wire and call out names of relatives. A man holds up a photograph of his wife. A woman holds up a baby. A boy of maybe 16 holds up a piece of paper with English handwriting. You cannot read it. You scan for any of your 47. You do not see any. You will read Hamidullah's name in a Telegram channel announcement of executions on November 11. 11 weeks later. You will read about his son Ahmad, 22 by then, executed at the same time. Ahmad 9 Doorway does not speak. He will not speak at his execution. The notes are very precise. Final level. The one who burned the book. 42 years old. You retire. Master Sergeant. 20 years and 4 months. A pension that pays half your base. Documented TBI. Left ear hearing loss. A knee you can predict the weather with. You do not write a memoir. You do not go on a podcast. You do not say the name Ahmed out loud to anyone, not even Mariam. You do not say Hamidullah either. Mariam knows the shape of the silence. She does not ask. On the 3rd night after retirement, you go down to the garage at 3 in the morning. You take the Moleskine out of the lockbox. You take it to the Weber grill on the back patio. You open the cover. You burn it 1 page at a time. Page 1 is Daniel. The careful handwriting curls black. Page 9 is Hamidullah. Page 23 is Layla. You burn this one slowly. Page 41 is the blank page from the CIF. The last 47 pages are the names from Kabul. The ash is finer because you wrote them with a different pen. You stand in the backyard until 5 in the morning. When Mariam comes down at 6:30, she looks out the window and sees the grill. She does not say anything at breakfast. At 10, she walks out to the patio and looks at it up close. She comes back in. She asks you, lightly, what you were burning. You say, old training notes. She nods. She makes you a tuna sandwich for lunch. She asks if you want it cut diagonal. You say yes. You eat the sandwich on the back patio. The grill is still there. The ash is still in it. A neighbor named Greg, who you have spoken to maybe 4 times in 11 years, walks past the back fence with his lab and waves. You wave back. Greg sells insurance. He has a daughter in 7th grade. You know this because Maria mentioned it once at a barbecue. The bread is sourdough. It is very good. After lunch, you go up to the attic. Most of your stuff is still in boxes. You find one labeled High School. The notebook is in it. World history. 11th grade. You open it to the inside of the back cover. The handwriting is in black ballpoint pen. You can see, faintly, the pressure of it through to the second page underneath. I will liberate the oppressed. You sit on the floor of the attic for 40 minutes. You do not recognize the handwriting. It is not a metaphor. It is the simple physical fact of looking at letters that came out of a hand that was once yours and not knowing the hand. Somewhere in Ohio tonight, in a strip mall recruiting office that smells like floor wax and old coffee, a master sergeant who has been a Green Beret 16 years and at this desk for 4 is sitting across from a kid who is 18. A small flag between them. 3 Latin words. The master sergeant explains what they mean. The kid believes him. Tonight, the kid will go home and uncap a black ballpoint pen and write 1 sentence on the back cover of a notebook. The sentence will not be wrong. The kid is not wrong. The Latin is wrong. And the man in 1959 who chose it was wrong. And the institution that has not fixed it for 67 years is wrong. But the kid means it, meaning it is the only thing that is true. The cycle continues.